Chance Buckman is the head of a Houston-based oil well firefighting outfit. With a team that includes Joe Horn, Greg Parker, and George Harris, Chance travels around the world putting out blazes at wellheads from industrial accident, explosion, or terrorist attack. Chance enjoys the thrills, but longs for ex-wife Madeline. She divorced him 20 years earlier, taking their daughter Letitia with her, because Madeline could not bear to see her husband risk his life. Though they love each other, Madeline could not deal with her terror that Chance might be badly injured or burned to death in a fire. While extinguishing a burning wellhead, Chance suffers a near-fatal accident when he is crushed by a bulldozer blade. Against his wishes, his daughter Letitia, Tish, visits him in the hospital, summoned by his old friend and former firefighting partner Jack Lomax and fetched by Greg Parker in the Buckman Company's corporate jet. She also pursues Greg Parker to a well fire in Louisiana. Greg has a notorious reputation for using fires to pick up women. Generally, any woman he takes to a fire ends up in bed with him. In the case of Buckman's Spitfire of a daughter, however, after considerable initial friction, Greg and Tish fall in love and marry 5 days after their first meeting. In spite of Greg's reputation, Buckman comes to trust his daughter's choice and accepts Greg into the family. Madeline, projecting her own fears onto her daughter, though gracious, is rather less accepting, despite her liking for Greg. Greg suspects that his new father-in-law is growing increasingly protective of him after the marriage in an effort to protect his daughter from heartbreak should her new husband be harmed or killed. Tish wishes to see the fires that her husband and father fight, something that neither man encourages. Her father relents and allows her to accompany Greg into the field. Chance, trying to reunite with his ex-wife, leaves the Buckman Company to accept an executive position with his old friend Jack Lomax on the board of directors of Lomax Oil as a way to win her back. Chance gives his company to his son-in-law as a wedding present, although Greg's pride compels him to tell Buckman he doesn't want any gifts and that he will pay twice what it's worth. Greg and Tish begin traveling the world to put out oil fires. Soon the older couple announce that they will remarry, to the delight of Tish. Madeline is happy to see her husband in a safe job, but before too long Chance becomes bored with corporate life and longs to be back in the field. As Jack Lomax earlier told Tish, "Your father is the best there is at what he does. No man can walk away from that." Greg encounters problems with a fire in Venezuela, 5 oil wells in a tight line burning all at once, further compounded by guerrillas who are trying to undermine the operation. He asks Chance to return and help fight the fire. Chance does so without hesitation. Buckman goes to Venezuela in a Texas Air National Guard transport full of firefighting gear, unaware that Madeline and Tish have followed him to Caracas. Madeline uses Jack Lomax's influence with the president of Venezuela to get herself and Tish to the oil field where the fire is burning. Madeline declares this is it for me, in the sense that it will either make or break her ability to deal with the fires once and for all, fully aware that her relationship with Chance is on the line. The Hellfighters put out the fires with the help of the Venezuelan army while under attack by rebel warplanes that strafe the oil field. Madeline explodes in anger at what she perceives as the Venezuelans' inability to protect the team from the unexpected air raid, railing at the Venezuelan army and civil officials for allowing the guerrillas to get close enough to attack. Chance pulls her away during her tirade. She snaps, "Damned if I understand your attitude," to which he replies, "It's very simple, you'll do." When Greg asks Tish for her take on it, she just smiles and says, "I think we ought to get her a tin hat," referring to the bright red hard hats with the Buckman Company logo worn by the Hellfighters.